Ivy. I don't know that I
Good.
did I tell it to stop emailing me? I think I did finally figure out how to tell it to stop emailing me that we'd gone live. So I'm glad we finally accomplished the basics. The basics of things.
230 weeks.
Whatever. I also forgot. Did I even put in? Oh my. Last
You get the
week's?
beer.
No, I don't think I did. No, I'm all set for beers, but what
Right.
I didn't do is put them in for. Oops. Put in the new bears because this is 138. This is August 13th, and we're having the brunch. Maybe
138 or 238, Russ?
week 228 podcast
228.
went 138 because we didn't switch over.
See. Okay. And we're doing
Barley.
something quite extraordinarily different.
Well, it's still beer, but
Yes.
we've never done anything quite like this before.
True. We've done beer as strong as this.
Yeah, that's
Just
the fun.
about.
That's the funny part. This just seems to be
Uh,
very uniquely
Yeah.
tilted to. I don't even know.
Oh, well, actually, no, I don't think we have. I've just noticed the strength of the.
Well, what's
I know they are slightly smaller bottles, but I did notice the strength of the other one. I didn't realize it was. Yeah, that's the strongest beer we've done on the show, and I won't even go into the rationale behind taking on barley wines at the hottest time of the year. I mean, I'll leave that up to you, but I guess they've got to be done eventually. So why not August when the whole province is on fire?
Oh yeah, it's all about how what we have on a very hot in the middle of a heat wave, everything's on fire. What do we have to quench our thirst? The strongest damn things we ever had. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
I think these
Well,
are
whatever.
just even 0.5 because the Leviathan Propellers Leviathan is telling me that it was 10.0.
Mhm.
The Belgian Quad that we had way back when from Heritage, that was the one that was in the growler.
Church.
It was
Oh,
only
right. Yes, in the growler.
nine
Was it?
percent. So now
We did
space
Did
words.
we did a Belgian quad? Did we not? Or was that a triple? When Rebecca, you, and Brittany, we went off to the
Yep,
church brewing. Was that a Belgian quad
I'm
too?
pretty sure
That was strong. That
the
was. I mean, of course, it was strong.
space words.
That's
It was 10.1.
10.1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty strong. The what? Nanaimo is 10, I'm being reminded. It is. I mean, that's just
Oh,
ludicrous. That
okay.
was that's the danger dessert wine from Propeller, wasn't it? I believe
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, and I was just in love with the stuff, and I bought cans and cans of it until it ran out, hoping that they would do it again last year. They didn't,
No,
that I
they
saw
didn't, did
anyway.
they? That was a
No,
shame.
they didn't, and that was so easy to drink. But this outstrongs them all.
It's especially the Sober Island one. So this is
Yeah.
it is uncharted territory. We don't need to finish, is what I'm going for. However, to start, luckily, yeah, I'm gonna feed mine to my wife upstairs if I can't finish these. And luckily, you've got
Mm.
someone there with a nose for the stylings and just an interest, an interest enough to try it. Regardless, I am Ross. Joining me, of course, is my co-host Ian, and together, unlike Taylor Swift making a huge announcement at approximately now, we are on our own attempting to drink Nova Scotia Dry. That it's a thing, I know. It's just we're gonna have to deal.
Okay. What? Is she pregnant?
See, That's what I said. Brittany
Oh.
is all over this, and she's got all of these. Oh, she's announcing this album, and she's going to put out these new songs, and the concept art for the new album is going to come out at midnight because she's hinted at this. And you have to follow all these logic problems. Now you mock, and several people mock, but honestly, trying to figure out, or at least allowing yourself to wrap your mind around, ooh, an artist is dropping hints on what the lyrics are going to be to their next kind of very, pop album type thing. So, these are the kinds of puzzles, media puzzles, I think we deserve. These are things that I think we should worry ourselves about as citizens, as opposed to, I wonder if 9 countries tomorrow are going to declare war on each other and everything's going to explode. I wonder if we'll wake up tomorrow and bread is $100 a loaf. That wonderment is stressful, where I feel like, ooh, and she's dropping hints and this kind of thing, and she's got clocks all over the place, and you have to figure out the clues. And I'm like, I like that. I'm okay with this.
Well, hopefully neither of those things. No, let me start.
None of all that.
I knew neither of those things were real. I didn't know anything about Taylor Swift, but I hope you're not dropping hints that we are going to war tomorrow, because I've been off of the internet for like 8 years, and I don't watch news for that very reason, because it was just depressing the crap out of me.
And that's
hopefully
why. As of 8 years ago, every night the news is kind of, well, let's see if we're all exploded tomorrow. And I think, that's that's so depressing. So having something light-hearted to question.
If the worst thing that's happening tomorrow is that Taylor Swift is releasing a new album, then I'm okay with that. I can deal with that.
Yeah, that's the big thing that everyone's, well, not everyone. A certain demographic is definitely talking about. But however, we are talking about Nova Scotia craft beers, and here's the thing. I've had one of these for a short, a little bit of time. And then I finally found I was in Horton Ridge Malt House some while back, and I saw a second, and I said, "Oh my goodness, there's more than one place selling barley wine." And when I noticed that, and I finally said, "Well, do we have to drink this?" It's sort of on the same lines of, do we drink sours? Do we drink radlers? Are they technically beer? And apparently, yes, barley wine is technically beer. The main reason it's called a barley wine is, I think the method that it's brewed makes it much higher in alcohol percentage, but also at the same time, it's just the percentage is so high that they said, well, we might as well just call it wine.
Yeah, you were reading the history, obviously, like I was, about why they call it barley wine. It came from Britain, of course.
Of course.
Wherever that was, 100 and something odd years ago. But it was supposed to be in the same region of the strength of the average bottle of wine. So it's kind of 12% ish. But they did say the range was from 6 to 12, and I thought, well, that's one heck of a range. Because if someone's selling me a bottle of wine, it's only 6%, I'll be a bit disappointed.
My answer says it's ranging from 8% to 12%. So it's a little higher, but here's the bit I like is one of the other reasons it's called wine, quote unquote, is the aging process. So it goes through an aging process, much like wines, and the use of large amounts of malt contribute to a rich, complex flavor profile. So it's all about the flavor complexity, sometimes likened to fortified wines. And this is the part that I finally drop. My favorite. I don't really like wine so much. I don't like dry whites or things like that. My favorite kind of wine is a rich, complex, fortified red.
Right.
So
a fortified red. Okay. Specifically.
I'm excited. The one thing that is the absence of excitement for me is here we go. So number one, coming in from the Horton Ridge Malt House, is the Brunch, which is a maple bacon barley wine at 10.6% ABV. And other than that description, that is the only thing that I can find online about this beer. I tried looking up a couple of different things. It's on Untapped. You can give it a bit of that. First seen this Nova Scotia craft. Mostly barley wine. Not sure I taste any bacon. The maple is very background. Mostly barley wine. Sweet thick and boozy, very good, very full flavored, very good.
Did you also read when you were doing a little bit of research,
Oh.
perish of thought, that the British style barley wines, the traditional ones, are different from quote American style? Now, is this
Oh.
going to be an American style? I don't mean US style. I mean North American style specifically. In the same way as IPAs are a little bit different in the UK as they were in the west of the states. They might be different. I was reading that the American style are hoppier than the British style. Yeah, sort of less bitter would be the UK. More kind of more fruit. So this could be. We don't know what we're going to get. We don't really know what we're in for here. All I will say is my dad used to brew his own barley wine in the 80s, and he thought he was having a hemorrhage at the time. He would wake up with the worst hangovers of his life. Now, bearing in mind, he's woken up a million times with hangovers. He's quite a beer drinker, my dad, back in the day. But this barley wine was the only experience he had. And his doctor, he had to go to the doctor because his headaches were so bad that his doctor said, "Stop drinking barley wine," and he did, and he recovered. So clearly these are going to be slightly better for us than his old homebrew, but that's my only previous experiences with them, I think.
I don't know. That has me completely frightened now. But
we should be fine.
So the 10.6 of the two barley wines we happen to have, 10.6 is the lower of the two. And I know we've done this gag a couple of times before, where the really strong beer is the lowest of the two. But I think we've finally reached peak ABV with the low one coming in at 10.6. We did a quick look up beforehand. I'm starting to pour this in here. Oh, I like the color.
Can I stop you there? But while you are pouring, which vessel have you chosen to decant your beer into? Because the reason I ask is, I mean, clearly we've been doing beers all the time. We just go straight forward for our beer glasses, pint glasses. But if living in Belgium, oh, Ross, I'm very impressed. I was about to say, if living in Belgium taught me anything at all, it was that these big old strong beers don't serve them in bloody great pint glasses.
No.
And there is a reason for that as well. How you're supposed to serve them. Oh, you're licking the bottle. Have you researched the reason why? I think you should.
No.
While you're on there. Okay. Well, I haven't.
Luckily, it's a 375 milliliter bottle, so I'm excited. So this is a little bit bigger than like a small can, a taller can, as it were.
Okay.
Yeah. Amber.
I don't have one of those beautiful beer glasses with me right now. I do have a bunch kind of stored. Oh my God, is that a Horton Ridge glass that you're serving?
Well, yes, of course. The Horton Ridge Malt and Grain Company, Hortonville, Nova Scotia. And on the backside, it even says from grain to glass on the back there. This is.
Well, I've got a kind of large wine glass, so that's going to have to double as my.
That's a good idea. I was wondering that. I did put thought to it, but then I remembered that my Horton Ridge glass is shaped correctly for a strong beer. I think you drink a strong, but I wondered, do we get champagne flutes? You know, like what should we be drinking these out of? And sadly, my Sober Island glass we've got for the Sober Island one is it's a pretty standard pint glass. It's like a small pint, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna drink out of that. I hopefully will not finish that bottle because it's more than 375 in the other one. This smells rich.
Yeah. It smells like a Christmas ale to me. It smells like a very traditional British Christmas ale, just to the nose, I mean.
And it's the same kind of fortified wine. Also gives me this kind of, it gets right. Okay. The richness gets right in your your nostrils and then in all your flavor buds. That's the word, right?
Surprisingly, there is a little bit of head on it. It's kind of sticking around there. It's got the kind of viscous thing that whiskies have. You know, when it's kind of sticking to the glass. Yes. You know what I mean? A little bit more than a beer would. It's kind of leaving that sheen down the side of the glass. Stronger beers will do that.
For lack of a better word, oiliness.
Oily, perfect.
I
Yeah,
mean, it doesn't
yeah,
taste oily.
absolutely.
That's not the taste, but it does has that effect against the glass itself. Anyway,
I love the smell.
how do we
Love the smell.
how do we feel? How do we about a couple of sips? I
Chug,
might
chug,
I
chug,
might
chug.
not do
No,
my usual 4 gulps at once. I think
no. I'm sipping this.
one.
I'm sipping this. Cheers. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. When you said oily,
I did.
perfect.
Yep.
It's got the yeah, it
Mm.
really does. The mouthfeel is so oily.
Um,
God.
I'm getting a smoky bacon in there somewhere. I'm not so sure about
yes, so am I.
maple, but
I'm getting smoky bacon. You didn't bring up the butte. Did you bring up the pig on the front? Of the,
did I
this
bring up
beautiful
the
pig?
pig?
Bring up
No.
the pig with his bacon. It's eating a cooked breakfast of eggs and I guess is that a hash brown? I can't quite see. I've taken my glasses off.
It might be 2 bits of toast.
Brunch. Mm-hmm.
So the way I've been
Um,
advertising this, I'm fairly certain that the type
bacon.
of beer is a maple bacon barley wine, and the name of the beer is "This is the Brunch." Shall I have a pint of brunch today? Yes. Pour me another glass of brunch, if you would.
Yeah, you're not chugging this, are you? Good. So sweet.
Not on purpose. No.
It's so sweet.
It is very sweet. There's a now. I'm trying to decide how much complexity I want to go into detail describing here, because where I do feel it's a very rich, sweet, thick-bodied up front. The
Oily.
smoky bacon arrives somewhere in the middle, and then it goes back to the thick, rich, oily on the back end. I mean, there's no aftertaste. It's not uncomfortable. What did the person say? Sweet, thick, and boozy. Does it
Yeah,
taste
all
boozy?
three of them.
Yes.
Yes,
I
all
I
help.
feel like I am basically, this is a whiskey that someone has mixed with maple syrup and served to you. They
That's
just
not a bad description. Yeah, it's got that feel, and that's whiskeys do that as well. They leave that draw down the glass as well. They're very much so that oily looking thing.
there's a heat going down my throat. Kind of follow it because my mouth feels almost warm to the inside. We are in a heat wave. It is hot out, so this is
Yeah.
the worst plan possible. I'm 2 sips
you're-
in and I'm almost feeling this.
Even though it looks like you are currently in a school or something going in the background, you are in your basement. Do you have a heat pump down there or an air conditioning unit or something? Or is it?
No.
No. Okay. Well, thankfully, I do. I do have an air conditioning unit going on behind me. That's help. If I didn't have the air conditioning unit, I'd be thinking this not a very good idea to do this at the moment. Probably still be going for like 4% lime lagers or something. But since I've got one, I'm okay with this.
So we've got a couple of air conditioning units upstairs. I'm down here in the basement. This is where my work from home office is, here with, so I can go to meetings and pretend that I'm broadcasting from a Nova Scotia craft brewery. But because of the heat wave and the fact that all the air conditioning is upstairs, it feels much hotter down here. It's not hot in the basement, but it's probably low 20s down here. It's probably at least.
Oh no, really?
And yeah, I've got the dehumidifier over here, which does
Okay.
two things. It
Takes the humidity away, but warms the place up because of the
exactly
motor.
yeah, because of the motor and the power that it outputs, constantly trying to get all of the liquid out of the air. And then in the next room over, if I've got the dryer or the washer or the dryer going, that pumps more heat. And I've got the computer down here, and it's going so. Me sitting here, also the heat that I'm producing while drinking barley wine apparently is something to consider.
This is a Christmas. This is a Christmas beer.
Yes.
I know. I know. In the middle of Kentville, you'd think it was still Christmas with that 22-foot high Santa Claus who's just been there for about 2 months now. Which every time I drive by, if I only had an air rifle, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same thing. I don't know how long they're going to leave that thing up for, because it's been up now for a couple of months.
8 months, I guess, if it's a Santa Claus.
8 months. I suppose. this is in keeping with that. This is Christmas in August.
Mm.
It's
It,
it's fabulous. It's amazing. Um, Extremely boozy, very strong. You sipping it is
the
the
only
only way to
option,
drink
yeah.
it.
It's
Yep.
not a heat wave kind of beer. It's not a, the forest fire index is off the charts. There are
Yeah.
wildfires nipping at our heels, literally.
Can
I,
I ask also what temperature that you're drinking it at? Was it straight out of your cool room?
it was straight out of the cool room, so it's
Okay,
probably,
good.
yeah, 5 to 10 degrees ish. So it's cool. La 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 la.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is because it is the strength it is, and it's got really complex flavors
Mm.
that would probably be unlocked once it's
Y-
warming up. If it's too cold, you probably wouldn't get all that.
No,
But
I don't think
mine's
you'd want to drink it ice cold. Like straight out
oh
of the.
no, forget it, because you'll lose everything. But mine's kind of, I don't know, probably 10 degrees ish, I think. And it's got all the bouquet that you would kind of, when you smell your wine, you get all that stuff up
Mm.
your nose.
I,
It's got everything. It's giving everything to me.
I don't know if it's
Um,
the glass, but I feel like I'm drinking a cognac or something. Someone just.
yeah, yeah.
I sometimes
Mhm.
pour myself a whiskey over ice, and it's the exact same feeling that I'm getting drinking this. That is. I
That
don't know if you had two.
wow. The one we drank, the barrel aged rum up at
Yeah.
Sheffield Mills. There, I can't remember the strength of that, but it was getting up there. That's the last time I had a beer that had that kind of feel to it, that you just had to sip it like it was, well, like it is what it is. It's a 10 or 12% thing. But I say that, but of course I don't sip the Leviathan or the Nanaimo like this, which are already 10%.
Yeah.
It's
So
a different thing entirely.
consistency, body, because I can chug the Leviathan.
Leviathan, yeah, crazy. That's a triple, isn't it?
Yes,
Triple
that's a
IPA.
triple
Yeah,
IPA, and even
yeah.
the Space Words was the same kind of way. Aged
Uh,
12 months, aged 9 months. They seem to both be. Oh, come on, let me look a little closer at that. 8 or 9%. I don't think they're in the double digits like these two. I don't
Okay.
think they're quite there. The aged ones.
Rebecca's not. She's not sure about this. She's kind of declining and even a sip of
It,
it.
it,
So she's such an IPA girl now
mm,
that those big squashy, hazy, fresh, juicy IPAs. The thought of this now is she's turning her nose up at it. I can't believe it. Can't believe. Do you know anyone else sip of that? No, she's totally turning her nose up. I understand. I get
uh,
it.
Barley wines can be aged for years, with their flavors evolving over time, becoming smoother and more sherry-like. So honestly, the second one might actually taste better because this is a pretty new one. It's brewed from worts with high original gravities, so the sugar content. So it's just very, very sweet beforehand, and maybe not all of it is even turned into alcohol at that point. But it leans heavily on malt characteristics and complex malt characteristics, and that's what I'm getting. It's a very rich sweetness of all over. It's like a rum raisin ice cream or fruit cake, which is I think
But bacon.
where we're landing on with the Christmas thing.
But bacon.
But some sort of smoky bacon.
Weirdly.
I I don't
Yes.
know if the maple would be welcome if there was more of a maple flavor, because honestly, would that be that's just more sweetness. It's like if you said, could you get yourself a gummy bear flavored barley wine? No,
Are you
thank
not
you.
sure
That's too much.
that that sweetness isn't directly attributed to the maple? Because I'm getting that feeling. I'm getting that flavor, um, uh, rather than just straightforward pork bacon. It does have a real sweetness to it. So I'm gonna hang my hang my tie on that. That probably is maple sweet bacon. And I like it, Ross.
I do.
Sweet maple bacon beer.
There's no way I could have two. This is sip
No, I
around.
mean,
Do you know what? Oh, a campfire in
still
the
half a bottle.
winter time. That's when I could drink this. If you're sitting around the campfire, but you've still got your snow pants and you're there, and you're sitting in packed snow on the deck chair and you're around the fire. Oh,
Yeah.
with your mitts
Yes.
and your hat on, and you're just sort of, oh yes,
Yep.
this is.
Because it does warm you up when it's going down, like a spirit does.
So obviously we picked the right day for drinking it as warm, because it is currently 26 degrees, 67% humidity. So the humidex it's cooled down to feeling like 33 right now.
When I was saying that, as soon as you said that's why I picked tonight, and that's why Rebecca said in the background, that's why you're not selling it to me, Ian, because it's warming me up as it's going down. it's the bacon, the oil, and the sweet as well, as you're saying.
Well, here's the scenario.
Is it brandy?
It is brandy. It honestly, yes. This is just brandy. It's brandy wine, like a Tolkien novel. But so here's the scenario. Let's say you got home and someone had turned the air conditioning up too high. They'd set it to 16 degrees Celsius, and you got home and it was far too cold, and you said, "Wait, I've got the solution. I know what this situation needs. This needs a fortified barley wine beer concoction,
Or maybe a cup of coffee.
or that, yep."
Yeah.
Or a Saint Bernard with a
Saint Bernard with a barrel of whiskey and the rest actually going for, or rum, whatever it is.
Well, this
Ross,
is easier to drink than straight rum, straight whiskey. So
Well, yeah, it probably is. But the problem I think in the elephant in the room all the while is, how on earth do you score this? How on earth do you score it?
Everything that's telling us that what a barley wine is, what it's supposed to taste like, this is nailing it. This is absolutely 100% nailing it. And then the only thing that we have to go on that above is being called a maple bacon brunch flavor of it. And yeah, I'm getting a bit of it.
I'm getting 100% of that. I'm getting 100% of it. It's every single taste bud is telling me that this is sweet like maple bacon, and the smell of it, and just everything that it's saying, I'm getting all of it, and in spades.
I feel like I want to come back to looking at it, judging after we try the other one.
Okay.
Because
right, good idea.
And that way you tell whether or not that sweetness that we're getting, is it the maple flavor, or is it just the barley wine flavor? Is that sweet, rich, complex malt flavor?
Usually, of course, I'm like, oh, I better stop drinking. I better leave myself a couple of fingers worth of that. Well, I've got half the bottle and the rest of this glass.
Yep.
That's left over. And it's only a 375. It's just bigger than one of those little cans. A tiny little bit more. Is it flat? Yeah, it's flat.
It won't lose anything.
No. Rebecca's just asking, will it go flat? There's no bubbling going on there at all.
Not too worried there. No, there's
honestly,
like you could probably shake
cognac.
this up and not much would happen.
Yeah, not much.
I'm
like a wine, like a red wine.
I mean, it is warm down
You're sweating, aren't you?
A little. I'm really.
Yeah.
I'm feeling this a lot faster than I thought I was going to feel this, but it is pretty high. So,
when I left you this afternoon, thank you so much. You've just furnished me with a bunch more bottles and this scary thing. I hot-footed it straight to the Kentville pool, because at the time it was about 32 Celsius, and I hung in there for an hour or so and dipped. I think each time it was like, oh, it's so lovely, so refreshing. All the while thinking, can't wait to have those warming barley wines this evening. That'll
really warm you up from a cold dip.
That's right. I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling the warmth, like you said, like we're sitting by the fire at Christmas time, supping on really strong seasonal ale. And that's exactly what this is, isn't it? Because it's got it doesn't have the spiciness, I guess, that the sort of, it doesn't have the the anise or the or cloves or anything like that that a lot of the traditional Christmas ales have. But it has just a certain smell, a certain smell, which is telling me this is a Christmas ale.
I think it's the boozy fruitcake kind of smell, feel, vibe, taste, all of that
Christmas
kind of thing.
cake, yeah, without too many spices.
Which is
maybe
interesting.
Cherries or something.
Which is interesting to me because every time they put out a Christmas beer and they call it, here we go, this is the fruitcake beer, and it's like 5.5%. I think you're doing this all wrong. You have to fully booze it up, and I'm not sure how much more this costs to produce than an IPA or a winter warmer or something like that. But I think this should be the goal.
It is really boozy, and that's the number one thing I would say about it. It's very, very, very sweet, like a very sweet sherry or a when you get some of those single malts from Scotland are really, even though they are quite fiery, they're also very sweet.
Yep.
And this is like that beer.
Oh, look at that! Look at the legs on that. So you give it a little swirl, and you just watch.
Yeah.
The tiny little baubles make their way down.
Like a grappa, like that Italian disgusting oily liquid that kind of just sticks to the glass on its way down. Yeah. This tastes better than that, at least. But I can't drink too much of it.
Nor I. Not quickly. I could probably sip on it a little bit more later. So here we are. The good news is, moving on, we have a second one to compare it to.
I'll put the lid on there.
And it's stronger. So here it is from Sober Island Brewing Company down in Muscatobit. Where? Wait, no, they're not in Muscatobit. They're in Sheet Harbor, aren't they? They've got a tap room in Muscatobit, but they are located right there on in Sheet Harbor. And I think this one, the type again is a barley wine, but it also says at the top an Eastern Shore barley wine. And even check out the date on that one. It says 2023. So I've had this one. I think I got this sent to me from Lucas, the brewer. I was asking him last year, so he sent me a batch of this. So it has been keeping. I don't think an 11.7% extra strong beer will go bad. I'm hoping and assuming not.
I was reading up about that earlier this evening myself, actually. Typically, the higher the strength of the beer, typically, of course, this doesn't mean to say every single time, but the higher the strength of the beer, rather like decent wine, it can age quite nicely, thank you very much. Rather than your Budweisers, which you don't want to leave more than sort of 4 or 6 months.
No, they don't age. They don't age quite as well.
No, these can age like a wine. So it might be that it says 11.7%. It might be closer to 12 by now.
There's no descriptor on there. Once again, I do love the in fact the brownness of both labels is kind of funny, where they're both barley wine, but this one's got the lovely cartographic maps and whatnot. I couldn't find anything online either, but I could find an old link to their online order. You could get it wasn't up to date once you click through, but the search result of it says, "This is a very special beer that we've waited 7 years to produce. It took almost 14 hours to brew and 3 months to condition." That's all I can see. That's all the description that I get out of this one.
Ross?
Yes?
What number do you have on yours?
Number.
It looks like Rebecca Atkinson has. I mean, I think these are individually signed.
Rebecca Atkinson and Tim McLeod.
Yep, they've individually signed. I think what they've done is they've printed off the labels and they've spent all evening just signing each one individually. That's what that looks like to me. Unless I'm going crazy, that actually looks like penmanship. I'm going to rub my slightly wet finger over it, just from my saliva here, to see whether or not it would. I'm not sure, but that definitely looks like it's handwritten. They've signed them because this is the special edition, of course. And my number is 185. What have you got?
186.
There you go. You
Um,
very kindly gave me the better of the two. Mine is even more, even closer to number one than yours is. Thank you very much.
It wasn't Lucas I was talking to. It was Steve Giles, the owner of Sober Brewing, and he was telling me about it. And the only additional thing I got, so this was me emailing him this past October, so nearly a year ago, and he said it's currently the Eastern Shore barley wine, currently 18 months in the bottle at that point. So this is now maybe 2 years in the bottle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, are we prepared for this? The opening of it seemed to go rather well.
I feel like there should be some kind of opening ceremony for it now, like some bagpipes maybe, or a flag unfurled or something. It's a real special edition. Right. And there was some CO2 escaping when I opened that one. It didn't happen in the brunch.
No, it did not. I'm getting a bit of bubbles out the top here.
Okay.
Let's see.
There was a tiny little foam on the other one, but it dissipated very, very quickly.
Got the whole thing in the glass.
Shit, look at that! I'm so drunk. I just poured it into the. I just poured it straight into the water that I put alongside. I've had
Oops.
about a third of a pint.
Yep.
And I was wasting it in the water. That's the only way to drink this. Dilute it immediately from
Honestly,
the bottle.
save that for later and see if it tastes as good, if not better.
All right.
I am.
Or I want to waste too much of it.
No, put it in
Is this darker, this one? It's darker.
It's a little bit darker, but it's
significantly darker.
The nose.
It looks like flat Coke.
It does look like flat Coke, but the nose, the smell on it.
Oh, it's different.
It is different. Are you getting like a floral, like a perfumey something off of that?
It doesn't immediately smell, weirdly, as boozy as the other one.
Okay, wait.
I mean, look, the other one, of course, was so sweet. Maple bacon. It was really sweet. It doesn't smell quite as sweet. It's more subtle.
It's starting to. It's getting there now. The more I sniff at it, I'm getting a waft of potential booziness. However,
from the bottle, but not from the glass. From me, yeah. I mean, it's been in the bottle, like you say, a couple of years. So, well, it's quite a different smell.
Needs must. Shall we?
Needs must, yeah. Suffer for your art.
The sacrifices we make. Cheers.
Cheers. Mm.
Okay. Oh yeah, the oily richness is back there again. And you're right. It has lost a bit of the sweetness. So a little bit of the sweetness must be from the maple bacon in the maple bacon one, because this is basically it's the same thing. Well, no, I don't want to say exactly the same thing, but the overall flavor of it.
I'm getting. Hang on. Is that rum? Is that a rumminess to it?
Yes and no. There's a rum feeling, but not a rum taste. I think it's just that it's so boozy. I mean, you don't usually take a full mouthful of rum, straight rum. That is...
Gosh.
Whew. That's, Yep.
I have to take my shirt off.
It's hot. I will... It's not often that we don't finish them on camera, but the thing was, I think the ill-fated 4 Imperial Stout night we did, where I was trying to finish the can. I was trying to finish them on the show. That was a bad plan, and I have learned my lesson from that, of trying to drink 2 liters of impressively 9% and up beer in 1 hour.
What's the flavour you're getting this from? You said it smelt fruitier than the other one.
I thought I was getting like a very floral, perfumey thing off of the smell, but that's not. I don't think that's so much in the taste. The taste is just strong, but it's still very fruitcake. That kind of malty, Christmassy, boozy, brandy.
Yes. Brandy and rum.
It is. It is sharp on the front. That. Wow. This
molasses. Rebecca's saying. I don't know. I mean, I wish you could try. Look, you've got. You can see the face. Yeah, just like. I mean, just totally.
Doesn't even want to try.
No way.
No interest whatsoever. That's
no
too
interest
bad.
whatsoever. I did. Thankfully, when I came back, I did on the way back from your place as well. I did call into the liquor store, as one does, and she seemed delighted when I turned up with a couple of frig-offs, which is far more a thing these days. This is the antithesis of a frig-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would try it in the winter.
You would try it in the winter. Well, it just so happens these bottles may not be drunk by the time the winter comes. I might just pop the lid back on them a little carefully.
Crack them
away.
back.
Because it's not as if the CO2. It's not as if they're going to go flat because they're already flat.
Self-combust.
They might self-combust. They might spontaneously combust.
They're going to get nice and complex. Back in the cooler.
I'm trying to. It's boozy, yes, even more so. I think slightly more boozy than the last one, but a different style of boozy. And I'm trying. It's like a navy rum, like a dark navy rum, but not as sweet. Weirdly, because I know that navy rums are quite sweet too, quite sickly sweet sometimes. It's not got the meat. I can't nail down what the flavour is, just because the brunch had a pig sitting there and it said maple bacon flavour. So at least I could hang my tie on that. I'm searching for the flavour here, but I can't pinpoint it. It's rummy.
It is very rummy.
brown
I find it sharper. The strength of it, even though it's not that much higher. Like in comparison, going from a 10.5 to an 11.5 shouldn't be a huge deal. But the 11.5, it really does. You take a sip of it and you're like, oh, okay, that is pretty darn strong.
10.5 to an 11.7. When I was looking up just a few minutes beforehand, I was looking up what the barley wines, what denotes a barley wine. I couldn't help myself because, like I say, research is forearmed is forewarned and all that nonsense. I came across a video of a guy in Alabama, I believe he is, and he's trying the world's strongest beer.
Okay.
And it's by it is by a Scottish craft brewing company called Brewmeister. Look, and it's called Snake Venom. And now this is what are we? 10.5 and 11.7. Okay, I'm going to let you try and hazard a guess. The Guinness Book of Records has it as well, by all accounts, and it's official. And it is, like I say, it's brewed in Scotland, and he had a bottle sent over to him in the States, and it's about the size of this one, and it came with a little glass that you drink it from as well, and it cost £100 sterling
for one little bottle.
For the one bottle. Okay, yeah. Okay. So he was said it was at the time it was a couple of $100 in the States, and he took 3 measures of it. It does actually say on the top of the bottle. There are warnings galore, and there are
do not
caveats.
Chug.
Don't chug it. Don't chug it. The glass is smaller than a shot glass, and said we recommend you only have 35 milligrams of this stuff in a sitting. So it's like 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 an ounce anyway, an ounce, which is just like one shot of rum. Go on, the strength of it. Seeing as these are sort of 10 and 11.
10 and 11.
That one has
21.5.
Ross, you are way off. I mean, you're not even a third of the way there. The ABV on this beer, and it is a beer because of the way it's brewed. It's been frozen and then melted and frozen
Is it just
and melted.
a pile of sugar?
It was 67% ABV.
No, that's insane.
For a bottle of beer. And there's a video of him drinking this. There's an 8. Please go to it afterwards, because the look on his face after he takes the first shot is take ours. Take out the look on our faces when we tried this, and take it to 11.
Snake venom. There it is. Yep. It's an 8-minute video.
Oh, wow! This is something else.
And yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to try a 67% beer after trying no. Is this our upper echelon? Have we decided? Yep, that's it. 11.7 is, I think, as high as I feel like going.
Well, he said, of course, this isn't even beer. He said straight out of his mouth, and of course, we say the same thing when we're trying sours. This ain't a beer. You know, it's nice to sit down and drink a refreshing beer, and a refreshing beer can still be a stout, or it can still be an IPA to us. It can, and everything in between. Porter, if it's good Kolsch's and good blondes, it still can be a nice, refreshing pint of beer. I'm not refreshed by this.
No.
But there again, you're not looking to be. This is not the time of year, traditionally, where people are sitting down and sipping barley wines. So we've done this for science only. It's an experience rather than a quaff of. I'm experiencing this, Ross.
I was too curious. Yeah, I was too curious.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying this like I would, weirdly these days, a really hazy IPA, which I can't get enough of.
No, a nice.
This is an experience.
Juicy, strong thing. And
yeah, Rebecca's just poured me a big glass of water because I ruined the other one.
I'm curious as to what that would taste like. I have barely made a dent in this Sober Island one. I am glad that I got it all into the glass, so I feel like I am getting an impression of what the whole thing tastes like.
Yeah.
You know, I would feel bad were I not able to get everything into the glass, but this is going to take me a while. I'm glad it's early.
You did pour it in, didn't you? You've got a pint glass full of almost 12% barley wine there.
Yes,
good on you, mate. Good for you.
Going quickly back to the Horton Ridge one. After a sip of water there, just to keep myself hydrated, because holy cow, I feel like this entire evening could kill me. And that the smokiness, it's not as sharp, and I wouldn't feel like comparing an 11.7 to a 10.5 would be a huge alcoholic difference, but the Sober Island one tastes so much sharper and so much boozier that going back to the Horton Ridge one, I could say, oh yeah, I could finish that. I could get rid of that without too much effort.
It didn't smell as boozy when I first opened it.
No,
but
there was
upon sampling it, it's a different level. It's, gosh, I mean, it's okay. I'm going to do what you're doing. I had to put the coaster on top of the other one to protect it from the
insects, the bugs.
Have we got an infestation of fruit flies now? Because we've been waiting all summer. We've been saying we haven't been inundated with fruit flies so far. We've been done really well. Normally we've had 2 or 3 infestations by now, and we've come a long way into this summer without having a breakout.
Now, the thing is, I think the lack of any moisture whatsoever has helped us in tick season. hardly any ticks that we've noticed this year, and B,
Oh, right.
potentially fruit flies, because what do they like? They like moisture. They like hot, damp.
That is
Normally,
true.
the
that's very
weather
true.
and the climate around here. So I'm like,
And we have an air conditioning unit, a dehumidifier in the that might have helped altogether.
I
I'm
think so.
stuck to the back of the chair, Ross. I've just pulled myself forward.
I-
My back is just peeling off this back of this chair. I probably ruined this shirt too. I'm going back to the brunch. Like
I think
you
I
did.
think
I'm
you
gonna
should.
smell
Yep.
it first.
Just to give that one another one. And honestly, it's making me appreciate slightly more the brunch Horton Ridge one. I think
Oh, interesting. It's this almost. Are you like? Were you yearning for the sweetness again of that one?
yes,
Yes. Isn't that weird?
but maybe that's what the Sober Island one is meant to be trying to do. Holy cow! All right, it's forest fire alert time.
Yeah. we've
There's
been
a
waiting for that, haven't we?
wildfire.
Where?
Dalhousie, Annapolis County, Morse Road to the community center. Residents should be prepared in the event of an evacuation notice is given.
Dalhousie.
Dalhousie Road and West Dalhousie.
West Dalhousie. Okay.
To the community.
Well, that's about 40 or 50 kilometers up there, in no man's land, in the middle of the
woods.
in the middle of the woods, as it were. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's been the. We actually sat here last night, and it was the first time, because we were watching things unfold, not on video, but people sending all their terrible misinformation on social media
Yeah.
about what's happening there in Halifax and then in Aylesford Lake and etc. And it's terrible, isn't it? You just get all this conflicting information from people. Well, I heard that, and I heard this, and I heard that.
I saw
etc.
this. Someone saw smoke coming out of their dog's
That's
butt.
right. And at one smoke coming out of the dog's butt. At one point, we read this woman that said, "Well, I heard, get this. Well, this is the one that was the big one in Halifax there,
Yeah.
in Bears Lake. Well, I heard that a rock fell onto another rock. That someone saw a rock fall onto another rock and create a spark, and then that started it. That's what she said. She heard, and then another person commented that. That's what I heard too. I've read that in other places. I thought, I wonder how much credibility there is. It's crazy how this just blows up into people saying they heard this and I heard aliens landed back there, and a runner passing by, a jogger, saw them and sped off and then immediately kicked up a spark, and as a result, and as it turns out, of course, none of that happened.
No.
It was no.
What bothered me, and it shouldn't, and it didn't. The more I thought about it, but it was difficult to find details on the wildfire that is now under control. That was up by Lake Paul.
Lake Paul. Yeah, there's two of them.
Up in the Aylesford Lake area. It was difficult to get information on that because there was so much on, this is right outside Halifax, because but there's so much more of a population down there. It could cause so much more damage that our little thing up here in the piddly little Annapolis Valley and your Lake Paul whatnot it's just not on the main centerified media news outlets radar as much. Well, I don't know that they even had any story on it whatsoever. So we were just kind of relying on Twitter and Facebook updates from the local fire departments. And I kept thinking to myself, what? I wish that weren't the case. I wish.
Were you not thinking though? And it was the first time really where we started thinking, okay, wildfires. I mean, even though we knew they were a big risk, and they've been saying that now for a number of weeks. When you start seeing them sporadically popping up in places, you think, okay, have we reached a tipping point now? When you're looking and you're thinking, we saw that there could be some rain in the offing, just in some short, sharp thunderstorms. But beyond that, again, from Friday onwards, there's another week. They've got the prolonged forecast seems to be just of nothing but dryness again. So and Rebecca brought up. She said, "You know what? It's worth talking about now. What if we do have to evacuate? Where do we go?" And I kind of thought to myself, "Yeah, you're right," because I think most people are now thinking it's one of those things that happens to other people all the time, does it not? You see wildfires in all over the place, and you see them even in a couple of years ago as a really bad one up in Halifax, and it was like, oh God, that's terrible, isn't it? Oh, that's really terrible. We feel for the people involved. We knew several people involved, but then when you get to the point where you're thinking, actually, we can't sit on our laurels here. It could happen on our doorstep. The way things are now, things are so dry and so bad that it's worth. And I'm reading posts about you really should be thinking about packing a bag with the important things and your pets and having a plan just in case it happens to you.
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of there now, where
You've
and
arrived.
Here we are sitting there drinking our 11% barley wines and thinking everything's cool, but something could kick off down the road. And you could hear a fire siren go around, and then someone would say, "There's a fire right there on your doorstep. You need to get out of town really quickly."
I'm probably ignorantly confident in the fact that insofar as large swaths of forest are much further away from me, and any fire coming this way, it would have to be at such an intensity that it was churning through house after house after house. It was just gobbling up neighborhoods before it got to me, because we're surrounded by houses and rather flat fields. But it would, and honestly, it would go through a soy field like.
Yes.
There's no sustained burn to a cornfield right now, I don't think. Like, it would really need to be roaring through pretty decently tall trees, and forests. Yeah,
which is why you stay out of the. I get. Yep.
If there was a huge empty forest directly to my west, then yes, I would probably be thinking more and more about it. But as of now. No, not yet. Other people are bringing it up, and I think I joked with my daughter earlier, and I just said, yeah, honestly, we just head for Scott's Bay, because the beach, acres of beach is not burning down, so I think we'd be fine there.
Yeah, you've brought up a fair point. I guess you've got to take into account what you're surrounded by, and yeah, you have trees, of course you do, but yeah, you've got a lot of open fields, and yeah, that's a fair point.
Fire is unforgiving, and fire will churn through, and it went through neighborhoods that I would have thought were probably pretty okay down in Hammond's Plains when we had the one a few years ago, and it just tore through, and jumped the road, went past, just ate up houses.
That's what brought it home to us a couple of years ago. We have some very good friends in Hammond's Plains that were evacuated for, we were trying to think of this last night. I think it was 5 or 6 days they were out of their house for, and they went back, and they were very, very lucky because they didn't know what they were going back to. They had cats, did they not, Rebecca? They took their cat with them. They didn't know where they were going back to. When they went back to it, they couldn't believe it because it was so close. People like 100, 200 yards down the road lost their houses. They didn't. So it was oh yeah, no, seriously, it was so it does bring it home to you when of course you see it on the news and you hear accounts of it, and it's like, it's really, really sad. But when it's people that are looking for a place to go because they've been evacuated, it really does bring it home to you. And nowadays, right now, because people are just, the whole province is just on edge, and people, of course, have all their crazy stuff and their you just can't even begin to put into words the some of the things that people are saying about what and why we are doing this, and it's a massive it's the government trying to keep us out of the forest by the uranium mine. And all kinds of weird conspiracy theories are going on. It's bananas. And all the while, you're just thinking, what if something did happen really close by and they said, come on, out you go, just to be on the safe side. Anywho, we've got our beer. We're okay.
What I've decided is that probably the most dangerous thing that we could do tonight that would definitely lead to forest fires is if we poured one of these into the other. I think the friction of those two high alcohol liquids colliding.
If you lit a match.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sparks
Absolutely.
would fly.
Look at that. That's all I've drunk out of this second bottle of barley wine. It's barely covered. It's not quite to the rim of the label. I'm going to try a tiny bit more of it. But I don't know what to do with it, Ross. I don't know what to do with it.
I'm going to slowly sip at it, probably until I feel physically ill. And I'm going to do that for a few hours tonight. I'm just going to slowly see if I can get anything out of it. And
Have you been checking out the Perseids lately?
we laid out on our lawn last night because if you're behind our house, there's a street light in front of our house. But if you angle it right, there's a spot in our yard that you can lay down and see so many stars. And we looked it up. My daughter was looking it up, and she said that last night and tonight are the best times to have a look, between midnight and 4. But she did say that it is possible to see them starting at 10. So we went out last night at 10:03. And we got out, the deck chairs and the whatnot. We were just kind of laying on the lawn in the dark part of it, just staring up at the sky. And I think between us, we saw 9 or 10.
No way.
Even just between 10 and 10:30.
I went out there 2 nights ago, 200 or 300 yards down the road into a very dark area with my church. That was 2 nights. What would that be? The 11th? Is it the 11th or the 12th today?
Today's the
I've lost track.
13th.
It's the 13th today. Okay, so I went out on the 11th. Would that be too early? Because I was thinking it was supposed to be kind of from the 10th to the 12th. I don't know. Anyway,
she told me that it was the 12th. The night of the 12th and 13th were the best. But I don't know what that even means.
Okay. Well, I'm not driving anywhere right now to go and see them. So I would need to go down to that same place. And I set up with my foldy chair, and it was about the same time, around about 10 o'clock at night. And I sat there with my phone on its highest ISO. I've been doing a little bit of research to see if I could get some view. I took a couple of photographs. But then while I was there for about 15, 20 minutes, and the mosquitoes were having a bit of fun. They were beginning to have fun. But that's not what got me. I heard a rustling in the trees. Yeah, I mean, it was so dark. I mean, I can't tell you. I went to a dark place, so therefore I could see much. And then I had a rustling in the trees in front of me, a ruffling. I heard ruffling, and then would you believe it? A bear was staring right at me. No, it was. I heard.
So I loaded my elephant gun.
I loaded my gun.
My blunderbuss.
That's right. And I heard the rustling, and I thought, it's probably a cat or a skunk or a crow or something. But then I heard a grunting, like a kind of like that. And crows don't make that noise. It put the fear of God into me, and I thought, that's enough for me. And I whisked up my foldy chair, and I hot-footed it out there because I really had no idea what it was that was in there. It made a grunty kind of like that. And it was so dark that I thought, I don't know what that is. My mind played tricks on me. Could have been a pork. What noise do porcupines make?
Could have been
Could have been a raccoon, Rebecca said. Could have been a raccoon.
Is it like a chittery sound, like a obese chipmunk kind of sound?
It was a beast. It was a beast. It wasn't chittery. It was like
obese chipmunk. Sort of that,
like an obese chipmunk.
Yeah.
Wow. Was it like an obese chipmunk?
Did it sound like sort of an oversized squirrel? Because you know what a squirrel noise sounds like, and then just imagine it deeper and slower.
I hadn't had any alcohol, so it wasn't alcohol induced.
Fair.
That I remember. Maybe I had. I don't know. But it may have been amplified by my own. It was slightly freaky sounding, so maybe I made it sound worse than it was in my mind. But because it was so dark, and there was and I couldn't make it out. Maybe I made it sound worse than it was in my head, and I thought, I don't care. It's probably something completely normal. Yeah, maybe a raccoon or something. But I got the hell out of there as quick as I could, and I'm glad I did because I could have been on the news.
Does it sound like a fire?
We didn't have any mosquitoes. There were no bugs biting us last night, so that was very nice. That was delightful, where you could just kind of sit there, lay there, this kind of thing. And then the next follow-up I've got is the Susie's Lake wildfire update. That's the one that we just heard.
Oh, yeah.
10 minutes ago, the wildfire is currently being held, indicating it is not actively growing, though the situation could evolve positively or negatively. So they're basically saying, we think we've got it contained. We're going to watch it overnight. We'll post something in the morning. And then you'll be glad to know that Taylor Swift's announcement was that she's got a new album is going to come out, and she shared the image of what the new album, and the new album is going to be called The Life of a Showgirl, and it'll be out October 3rd. I know that was the news that you were absolutely waiting for, needed to have.
Rebecca, it's gonna be out on October 3rd. Can you wait that long?
What is?
Taylor Swift's new album. She'll try and hang in there. She'll give it a go. I've just drunk the water that was tainted by the barley wine. It was rather refreshing. It was like a slightly taste. You know when you have one of those bubbly waters that have just got a little.
Okay, yeah.
I quite enjoyed that. It was very refreshing. I don't quite know how to, like I said earlier, how to mark these because, well, like I said, it's 40 odd years since I remember having a barley wine. Actually, it might be even longer than that. What am I now? I'm 57. My dad used to ladle this stuff down me when I was about 8. So I'm thinking it's probably 50 odd years since I've had one. This is really unique, but extremely Christmassy, very seasonal. I don't. What were you thinking when you said let's do barley wines? You crazy man.
I let my curiosity get the best of me. It was all about my curiosity. I wanted to know what these tasted like. We've been hanging on to them for a little while. The Sober Island one especially. And when I finally had 2, I was like, that's it. I don't think we're gonna find a third one or a 3 and a 4. So we might as well give them a try, see what's going on. And we just had boozy glass of brandy, super holy cow, and I don't know how else to do it, but I think they've both done a fantastic job. I love the
sterling job,
the smoky bacon flavor of the Horton Ridge maple bacon one makes it definitely more drinkable to me personally, because I don't really like a lot of rich tasting things. So I think that the Sober Island one, I think that's what these are supposed to taste like. They are supposed to taste extremely rich, extremely strong, and just like that. So I think the Horton Ridge one, but I think marking them, Sober Island is probably up there in a 9394. Horton Ridge, I'll go for 91.
That's completely reversed what I was expecting you to say if you're going to score them after what you just described
But
them as.
I know what
You've
I
completely
prefer,
reversed the scoring.
but I think that the Sober Island one is more indicative of what this style is supposed to be.
I think they both hit the nail on the head as exactly what a barley wine is. They've just flavored them totally differently.
Yeah, you're probably right there too.
Yeah. So if they're just, this is our take on it. We could do anything with this. as it is, and next time we could throw something completely different at it. It'll still be a barley wine. It'll still be as strong as all hell.
Could be
and you'll be drinking it in the middle of July and August.
coconut pina colada barley wine. Go for it.
That's right.
Throw things in there. I don't know.
They're both astonishing because it's nice to experience really different things. And this is, at least this is, to me, this is crazy beer in the way that a mad sour or a doner kebab, a king of donair beer. I like the really weird. This isn't wacky beer. This is, this is a proper style of beer. Unlike
it's a genre we've never explored.
It's a genre of beer. Yes, it's not just like they're not just throwing strange, crazy things at it. This is and just saying this is just a crazy beer. We're just going to do one off. At least this is a genre of beer, just with different takes on it, and I like them equally. But I'm not drinking any more than a small glass of them.
These bottles, I think, were made to be shared amongst 4 to 6 people.
Or maybe, yeah, or to last 2 or 3 nights in front of the fire around about the 22nd of December.
Heating yourself through a night of what's the word when you can't sleep?
Insomnia.
Thank you. Where you're just and you're worried about the creatures that are over in the rustling in the woods. This is a good one to they're like, ooh, got to keep the shivers away.
Seriously, if it's supposed to be tonight where it's peaking, the night is young. It's only 9:10. It's dark outside. Maybe I'll take a little thimble full of this down to my little viewing space. And I'll take a weapon this time with me. What would you suggest?
A candlestick.
Rebecca, she's my weapon. A candlestick.
A lead pipe.
Cluedo? Is this Clue?
Yeah, I'm just naming things from the game Clue. This is how weapon savvy I am. A length of rope.
A length. I try and strangle my assailant from the woods before it gets to me. Okay, cool.
Exactly. It works best if they're wearing one of those funereal, the women's hats with the little veil that comes, the little netted veil that comes down across the top, Mrs. Peacock. If you find a coyote or a raccoon with a little hat with a netted veil down the front, rope, and then say, "Oi, you,
side of the road.
Over here, you're coming with me to the billiard room, and we're going right now." And then I'm going to put a picture of my own portrait in the little manila envelope that you get, so that at the end of it, I don't know why I'm Australian, but it's happened.
I thought that was Russian.
I did. It was going to be Russian very soon.
It was going to be there eventually. Ross, thanks, man. That was immense fun.
Oh,
we should do these. We should do these barley wines every year in the hottest months of the year.
Thank you for saying every year and not every week. Oh my goodness, can you imagine the Barley Wine podcast featuring Jessup Maroon and Ezekiel Farquharson?
I'm giving them both commendably high, ridiculously high scores of 9.5 each.
Okay.
Just because they're so brilliant, they're so different, and I'm not drinking them all the time. That's for sure.
They're going to make us so hungover.
They're so great. I love them both. Beer's great, isn't it? Cheers. I'm out of here. Good night.
Barley wine. I'd like to say I was kind of expecting these flavors, mostly because of our Imperial Stout night with Two Crows, but I feel a very similar feeling. It's Chris Hopkins. How's it going? Chris, sadly, that is the end of the show. You tuned in a little bit too late. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to Ian, my co-host. Thank you to Sober Island and Horton Ridge for making these beers that we tried here tonight. You can catch us every week. We're here every week, Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m., live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@drinknsdry. You go there, you can find all of our old archives and clips and whatnot when I get around to posting them up. And I also post them on things like Instagram and TikTok, and I think that's it. You can find our podcast in all the podcasty places, or you can go straight to the source at drinkns.unsupervised.beer. But being back here every week, we will see you next week at 8 p.m. Good night.